Okay, so we're back for a new season. It's the eve, or the day even, of our first game of the second season. The transfer window is now closed. So before we go into our first game, we're going to wrap up the transfers. And before that, I had a very definite plan about what transfers I wanted to make this season. And there was a big overhaul, again, I think that was required. I mean, yes, we won the League Cup, but we were going into Europe, so we needed a bigger squad. And we needed a more consistent squad. I mean, if you look at our best 11 from last season, I mean, Højbjerg, I don't know how was a centre-back in our best 11 from last season. But you can look at this team and you think, okay, but what replacements did we have? I mean, Ontiveros was our best left winger, according to his score. He wasn't even our first choice winger. Buffal was meant to be our first choice winger. Mario Lemina, although he was in our midfield as our best playmaker, he was a roaming playmaker, which meant that we struggled a lot of times keeping the ball in possession. Cedric, our best right back, was our only right back last year. He played every single game last year, 49 games. And unfortunately for Cedric, he made a lot of mistakes that led to bad goals. Yes, we had Kasper Dolberg, but outside of him and Dembele as the only superstars of the team, I really wanted to build more players with a better reputation going into this year. I want teams that are in the lower half of the table to be scared to play us. So, you know, from my point of view, it was about building in that midfield. That midfield trio I like in terms of the positioning, but I wanted better players, or players that if Romeo was injured, for example, somebody that could come in and be as good as him in that position. From the centre-back's point of view, Hoyt and De Ligt are our first team choices, but Van Dijk, as you know, caused me loads of problems last year. He wanted to be sold every single day. He would complain. When he played, he'd play badly. He was a very large wage as well. I think it was 80 grand a week, so he was one of the highest paid players in our team. Tadic on the right wing. I mean, Tadic was a hero for us last year. He won us the League Cup with his penalties, but he's injury prone. He's getting on a bit, so we need somebody else in the wing position that can alleviate that. And also with having only one attacker or one forward, our forwards on the wing are very important to us in terms of making the play and getting the goal. So from my point of view, it was about finding another centre-back, getting a right-back, getting a couple of central midfielders and a winger. And in a minute, we're going to show you the players we bought in, and I think you'll agree that we've done that. What we're going to do is we're going to show you all of the players that we've brought in for the first team squad only. We've brought 17 players in overall for the entire squad, but a majority of them are for the under-23s. So, I'm not going to waste time showing you those. It's about the players that are going straight into the first team squad that are there to improve the team. And we're going to show you them. The most logical way to do it is to show you them from the earliest transfer we made to the latest transfer we made, simply because there's reasons behind some of the transfers we brought in. So, without further ado, we'll go on to the first player that we've brought in. So the first player we've signed before the transfer window opened, and it was a great deal for us. Hirving Lozano. Some of you will know him from his previous Wonder Kid status. He has been playing for PSV last season. We picked him up from PSV for 22 million, which I think, considering the team that we are, is a great signing for us. And in conjunction with that, to show his ability, he's also now a World Cup winner, because Mexico won the World Cup. Can you believe it? Mexico won the World Cup. They beat Brazil on the route to final, and they beat Belgium. So Belgium are like the team that everybody thinks are one of the better teams in the world because of the amount of players they got. Not as good as Mexico. Mexico beat them in the final. And Lozano, part of that team, he didn't have a great World Cup. I mean, you can see here, 7 appearances, didn't get any goals or assists, but he played every game, which is important. You know, it's that experience that's going to help him push our team to the next level. He is a natural inside forward on the left wing, which is important for us, and it allowed us essentially just to get rid of Buffal. You know, with Ontiveros obviously being an important part of our club's future, there was no room for Buffal, so we got rid of Buffal and we brought in Lozano, which for me I think is a great replacement. So the next player we bought in was Arthur. Well reputable from Gremio. I'm sure he's in a lot of people's saves as he's a very good player. We brought him in as our highest earner, 130,000 a week. Also to convince him to come, we had to offer him a £75 million minimum fee release. That's not necessarily a problem for me. I think if we get £75 million for him at some point, we'll be able to replace him. In the meantime, using him as that position in the central midfield, he's certainly going to help push our team to the next level. On the plus side, we also bought him for 17 million. So he's worth 33 and we paid 17 for him. So that was, to me, is an absolute brilliant signing. This is probably, for me, my signing of the summer. And it allowed us to get rid of Lamina. So we sold Lamina to Arsenal for 20 million. So in fact, by buying Arthur for 17, we've made a little bit of cash, which is always useful. I mean, look at his work rate. 16, passing 16, flair 16, determination 16, his agility, his balance, first touch. This is a quality player that's going to really improve our midfield trio. Next on the list was that all-important replacement for Romeo, because if Romeo gets injured at the moment, we don't have that defensive midfielder slot covered. And Santiago Ascasabar was certainly a player that ticks those boxes for me. Now, for me, it was between him. I mean, we paid a lot of money for Santiago, 27.5 million, which makes him our highest valued player, essentially, for what we've paid. So it's our record signing. It was out of him and a player called Thomas Partey, who I'll show you now. He's now gone to AC Milan. So this was Thomas Partey. It was out of those two about which one I bring up, and it's simply that I think Santiago just is a little bit better in terms of his mentality and his physicality. To me, that's quite important in that position. And he's younger. I mean, he's 21. Thomas was 25. So this guy still can improve. And if we can work on things like his first touch and his vision, then maybe we'll just hopefully bring out this attacking side a little bit more and make him more useful as a midfielder. But overall, that's improved the quality of our depth in those positions. So next was our right back, and the player I signed was Highchurch. Now, there aren't many right backs that you can get if you're Southampton. I mean, most of the good right backs, or most of the quality right backs, are already playing for teams in the Champions League or have ambitions to do so. So for me, it was about spending money on somebody that not only could cover for Cedric, but essentially could increase the quality that we have in that position. And Highchurch certainly does that. If you look at some of his stats here, he's just got all round really good stats. His crossing's good, his passing's good, his tackling's good, his defensive stats are good, his positioning's good. He's got good stamina, fitness, his concentration's good. When we did the report, they said that he had good consistency and he enjoys the big matches. So for me, that was really important about bringing that player in. We had to sign him for quite a bit of money, 27 million, making him our second most expensive signing. But again, I think he's going to provide that quality in the back four. So having signed lots of non-EU players and just EU players, we sorely lack homegrown talent. And that's a problem when playing the Europa League, as you have to have homegrown players in your squad or just leave the spaces open. So I bought in Jack Wilshere. He'd been released by Arsenal. We did make him an offer at the moment he was released, but he wanted 130,000 a week, something around that mark. With his injury proneness and the fact that he's good, but he's not amazing. He's certainly going to step up the quality in our team, but he's not going to, but only at a depth level. He's not going to be our first team advanced playmaker. So from my point of view, I didn't want to pay 130,000. So we let him suffer there and see if anyone else bid for him. No one did. So we picked him up about 2-3 weeks ago and managed to get him down to 55,000 a week. I think on a free transfer for 55,000 a week, that's an absolute bargain. Obviously, his mentality stats are absolutely incredible, and will feature quite a lot for us in the Europa League. Plus, he brings a lot of winning experience. He brings Champions League experience. He brings experience of playing with players at Arsenal. So that was really important to bring that other leadership and experience into the role. So we got rid of Virgil van Dijk and we replaced him with Gary Cahill. Gary Cahill is not a world beater by any chance, but he is English. He is homegrown. He has got loads and loads of winning experience. We've signed him on a 2-year contract, so you know if things go badly for him, he's not tied to us for that long. But he's going to bring us that leadership. In fact, his leadership's so good that he's been recommended as the club captain because his influence and the leadership is so imperative on the team. We paid $6 million for him, which all in all is a fairly good price, and at $98,000 per week, he's not one of the highest earners. So I think that suits us quite well. He's certainly not going to be our first choice in the Premier League, but he will be first choice in the Europa League, and he can provide a bit of role model kind of experience for De Ligt as well to help further increase De Ligt's ability, both mentality and defending wise. So another high earner that we got rid of was Fraser Forster. Fraser Forster spent almost the entire season on the bench because when he did play, he let goals in through his hands, through his legs, and actually through his body in some cases. Really is going to be our first choice goalkeeper, and it's very hard to find someone better than him. So, you know, from my point of view, it's about bringing someone else that's homegrown. Will Mannion is English. He's young. He's only 20 years old, so he's got plenty of room to improve. And, you know, for $9.75 million for a goalkeeper, for an English goalkeeper, you know, we're surely going to make some money on him in the future if we decide to replace him. So I think that's a good backup signing for, you know, for the first team. This signing's a bit out of left field, really. Martin Odegaard is the young talent at Real Madrid. I think when Real Madrid signed him when he was 16, Liverpool wanted him, Man United wanted him, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona. He went to Real Madrid for some ridiculous wages. He was listed on loan, so we managed to pick him up for $25,000 a week. He doesn't quite fit into the advanced playmaker. We don't really have that role at the moment in our team. However, if we're playing against some lower team in the league, then maybe we might push that position in. He can also do a job as an inside forward on the right. So when Tadic is out, that he can up the quality there. The main reason I brought him in, though, was the fact that he was a cheap signing, and if we want to improve our standing, we need to sign these kind of players just to have them in the squad. You know, I think people coming from Real Madrid playing at Southampton just improves the overall quality within the squad. And you know, we might get lucky if Real Madrid want to transfer list him at the end of the year. We might get him a little bit cheaper than everyone else. Another signing that we made is a backup for the first team, although a rotational player, and this is another complete forward to add to Moussa Dembele and Dolberg. Florinel Coman, the Romanian. We picked him up very, very cheaply for $5.25 million. He's on a low wage, $25,000 a week. So hopefully, even if he doesn't push on that much, if he doesn't improve that much, we'll make money on him as a resale. I did manage to piss him off in the first couple of weeks because we didn't put him in the Euro Cup squad. Simply because we didn't have any room to. We couldn't put any more non-homegrown players in that squad. But he doesn't care about that, and he was really pissed off, and he told all of his mates in the team. I don't think he has any mates in the team yet. He's only just started. Don't think he speaks English. So I'm not that bothered about him complaining to people because they probably don't know what he's saying. But anyway, he'll hopefully come good, and at the moment Dolberg's injured, so he will certainly be warming the bench for our first league game. And the final signing that we made was another loan signing from Liverpool. Now, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, not only is he homegrown English, but he's homegrown Southampton, and we don't have many of those at all. So he's somebody that can come in and just do a job for us in the Europa League squad. He's got winning experience with Arsenal and last year with Liverpool in the FA Cup. He's also got losing experience, having lost to Southampton in the semi-final of the League Cup last year. But he'll do a job for us. He's well known to the fans, well known to the club as a whole. We're paying $24,000 a week for him. We are paying quite a high monthly fee for him, but that was simply just to get the deal over the line. We can always terminate the loan at some point if we need to. So if he's not doing the job for us and he's costing us this kind of money, we'll just terminate it. The other important thing was we don't really want to go. We're touching on falling foul of financial fair play for wage increases, which is a fine at the end of the year if we continue to do so. So again, we don't really want to increase the wages too much. The other thing is Liverpool have agreed to a £10 million future fee. So for somebody of his age, 20, 25 years old, about to turn, no, just turned 25. You know, for somebody that 10 million for an English player that's been homegrown at the club, it would definitely be worthwhile. Plus, he's got that real good versatility where he can play almost anywhere in an attacking position on the pitch. So hopefully he does a good job, and you know, we'll see how he does. So that's our transfers in total. Now you can see we've made a lot more transfers than that. We brought some free players in. Lewis Morgan, the Scottish winger, has come in. We'll go through the youth players in another episode. The more important thing is the players that we sold. So you'll see here that we sold Virgil van Dijk for a fee up to 45 million. Mario Lemina, Sofiane Boufal, James Ward-Prowse, Geordie Clasey, Josh Sims, Fraser Forster, Sam Gallagher, who's on 48,000 a week, believe it or not. Harrison Reed, Matthew Targett, who's also on 35,000 a week, and Alex McCarthy, another 48,000 a week player. So we've managed to make a fair bit of money, 111 million, making our net spend about 13 million. So in my opinion, this is maybe one of the best transfer windows I've ever had in Football Manager. We've brought in some players well above the reputation of Southampton, some players that really improved the first team. We've spent 13 million more than what we've brought in. We've got rid of some high wage earners, and you know, we've brought in some real quality kids as well. So hopefully, pushing on, that's going to be really setting the stall for what should be an exciting season. Okay, so after all that, let's catch up with how we've done in the pre-season. We've had a couple of qualifying matches for the Europa League, and needless to say, we've done very, very well in them. Moussa Dembele has been absolutely shining in Dolberg's absence. Dolberg's injured at the moment. Moussa Dembele has scored in every single European Cup match, plus he's got something like 7 goals. So he's done ridiculously well. We do have Zeljenskar in the 4th qualifying round. I don't expect that one to be too difficult, but we will show the second leg in our second episode along with Liverpool at home. But next we're going to go on to our Leeds match, which is our first game of the season. Leeds have been newly promoted. We are away to them, so I expect it to be fairly difficult, but I also expect to win. So here we are, Elland Road. It's been a while since Leeds fans have had taste of Premiership football. And hopefully we can make that taste feel very, very sour. We've made a few changes to the team following our win, 2-legged win in Europe midweek. So De Ligt has come back in for Cahill. Hysaj is making his Premier League debut. He has been playing the last few games in Europe for me. Itta resumes his spot at left back. We're going for the familiar midfield trio of Højbjerg, Storaro and Romeu. Simply because this is the first Premier League game, and I don't feel it's suitable to change every player and have every player playing a debut in their first game. So hopefully that's just going to give us a little bit of strict possessional play in the midfield. Lozano is making his Premier League debut, and Oxlade-Chamberlain is playing his first game for the club since returning from, well, kind of returning from Arsenal, but from Liverpool, via Liverpool. And Coman, who has been complaining at me, is actually starting this match up front. Moussa Dembele is at 90%, 90-ish%. And with Dolberg injured, Moussa Dembele is our only striker for Europe at the moment. So I want to kind of preserve him as much as possible. So Coman will get his chance up front today. Moving on to the dressing room. We'll just hand over this to... this is look. Let's prove a point. They've been right to back you up. Everyone's waxing lyrical about this potential team. We are going to play a counter mentality, and Oxlade-Chamberlain is as a winger on the right-hand side of attack. So here we kick off. Leeds in their familiar white, and Southampton in this lovely blue and black kit. I think it's blue. It looks a little bit green, but it's also a little bit blue. So it's the colour of Southampton water, I'll tell you that. So, and Leeds have the ball at the moment. They are kicking the ball around quite nicely, and Kishner crosses it in, and Roof scores. 6 minutes in, Kemar Roof has scored. Southampton are 16th in the Premiership. Leeds are 6th. Hysaj doesn't really stop the cross coming in. De Ligt goes up for it, doesn't win the header. This is a terrible start to this Premier League match. I'm not quite sure what point the players are now proving. I told them to prove a point in a good winning sense. I'm sure there was somebody out there who went, I think Southampton are shit, and that's the point they're trying to prove now. Okay, 30 minutes in, and we are having a terrible game. Sturaro booked. Oh, that's good. Just to improve our performance, we've now got a booking to our ball-winning midfielder. However, Lozano's got the ball. Down to Coman. Sturaro. Back to Lozano. Loses it. And no one's going to chase that and get onto that ball. And now Kemar Roof, the goal scorer, has the ball. To Hernandez. Pablo Hernandez, though. Not Javier Hernandez. Kishner. Kishner's provided all sorts of problems. And Leeds have just headed it against the post. I say Leeds because I don't know which player it was. Number 24. I can't see. Hernandez crosses it to João Amaral on the edge. And it's gone in off Roof, it looks like. Yeah, it's his second goal. Leeds are 2-0 up. And Southampton are in the relegation zone. 1 game in. This is not the start I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping for a win. Just to really show the fans, you know, this is where our money's gone. We've spent all this money. We've got rid of Van Dijk and Fraser Forster. Don't complain, because look, we're winning. We're smashing team like Leeds. We're not smashing them. This is a really, really bad loss. Okay, so yeah, and I'm going to do it again. No, nothing. They're itching to get out there. Okay, let's change our tactics then. Højbjerg is not playing well. Let's bring Arthur on. And Oxlade-Chamberlain is also having a poor game. So Lozano's having a terrible game. He's going to come right. I'm scared to take him off because he is amazing. Let's keep him on for a moment or two, and then we'll probably take him off. Let's not go counter anymore because that's not working for us. Let's go control. Let's change our shape to be more fluid. We've got more attacking players on now with Arthur. But Leeds are really knocking it around like they're the Fancy Dans of the Premier League. This is real Fancy Dan stuff. But Romeo gets it from target, gutted target. That's what we sold you. Itter now, Itter to Coman. Arthur's got it. Arthur scores on his debut. That's what we're talking about. That's why I brought him on at half time. Arthur to score on his debut. Look at this, Itter. Itter's always involved. Coman back to Itter, plays it through to Arthur, and Arthur does not miss from there. Okay, this is a chance now. 49th minute. Okay, we've got plenty of time to rectify this. Sturaro gets his head onto it to Chamberlain. Arthur to Coman. Chamberlain's got it. Coman's in the middle. Lozano's there though, and Lozano, you keep him on for that reason. It's 2-2. Sorry, Leeds. You are not the Fancy Dans. Look at this. This is the reason why you buy players like Arthur. It's just completely changed the way our team's played. That's 2 debutants scoring goals. Okay, come on. We still need another goal. We've only had 4 shots, mind. We might have to go a bit more direct in a minute. Right. Let's make another change. What change can we make here? I don't know. Coman's not having a good game. Dembele on. I wanted to rest him, but sometimes needs must. Dembele to come on, and hopefully we won't lose. Ayling to Anita. Vernon Anita to Shibiki. Oh, it's Kishner, and Kishner puts it. He should have crossed it. His crossing's far better than his shooting, having assisted 2 goals. No, just the 1. Here we go. Sturaro kicks into Hoyt. Lozano. Oh, that's not a sitter. That's not a sitter. Anita to size, and that's a good save by Rully. And well away. Size, good save again. Let's pause. Right, let's change our tactical play now. It's time to go attacking. Very fluid. You know what's coming. It's the direct. Clear the ball to the flanks. Let's be more expressive. Okay. That change won't happen before the corner, or it will. Hoyt clears the ball. And let's make one more change. I think it's time for Ontiveros. Let's rest Lozano. He's done a good job. He's come on. Well, he's not come on. He started. He scored a goal. And now Ontiveros with it. Dembele to Itta. Crossed it in. Oh, couldn't get it to Chamberlain. Sturaro to Chamberlain. Hi, Saj. Romeo to Arthur. It's really nice play. And oh, it's a corner. It's a good save. I thought one more cut in then would have been a goal, but not to be. And okay, knocks out to Arthur. Sturaro to Delict, who loses it. Romeo though to Arthur. Oh, not good enough. It's going to be a draw here. Or maybe not. Hi Saj to Arthur. Arthur's been so involved since coming on. Ontiveros. Ontiveros. Should have done better. He had a rush of blood to the head. He thought, you know what, I'm getting on that back page. Dembele now to Hi Saj to Sturaro. Chamberlain's in there. Crosses it into Dembele. Dembele's the one on the back page. It's 3-2. Southampton will claim a win for their first game of the season. Sorry, Leeds, you can't perform for 45 minutes and then just not play. That player just fell over. And Chamberlain with a great cross to Dembele. And Dembele keeps up his scoring form. He scored in every single one of our 5 competitive matches. Uh-oh. This is a highlight straight after a goal. It normally doesn't mean a good thing. But Itta will get to it. Ayling to O'Kane to target. And Hoot gets it away to Dembele. Okay. Dembele to Sturaro. Arthur. Romeo's injured. Romeo done. We can't change him. MC Romeo is injured. Okay. Sturaro. I'm sorry. You can. I know you don't like to play there, but you're going to have to drop back. Oxlade Chamberlain, left wing. Ontiveros, right, left. No. I don't know my left from my right today. Dembele. Stop attacking. Let's go contain. Let's continue that same. Really pinging the ball up. Oh, it's been 96 minutes. This is ridiculous they score. Get the ball out. Oh, that's so lucky. It's 97 minutes. That's a long old game, but that's it. The win from the first game of the season. We really had to come back from that. And I'll tell you what, Arthur, I'm surprised he didn't get man of the match because he came on and he just changed the entire team. From the dressing room, something will come back. I'm proud, and you should all be proud. And hopefully, a few people are happy with that. But it's okay. We won 3-2. We're 4th in the league after the first game. We can now move on. The next game that we're going to bring you in the next episode is only 1 game away. It's going to be Liverpool at home. And then we'll bring you the second leg of our Europa League 4th round, qualifying round. So until then, stay cool, and hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed it, like it, subscribe it. We don't have many views at the moment. Hopefully we can get more, and then we can continue to put this episode out. But until the next episode, see you later.